What's up, guys? Ruben Tech here, hoping that you have a great day today. I'm reading these articles about electric, about the Chinese tariffs imposed by Europe and the American government on these vehicles, kind of in a sense preventing them from coming to America, where the Biden administration has imposed a 100% tariff on them. And Europe is looking at, I believe, 25 to 30% tariff on Chinese-made vehicles. To me, this does not benefit the consumer at all. I do think that tariffs prevent free markets from operating efficiently. That's just my take. If we come over here, we'll see that BYD, this is one of the Chinese car manufacturers that would be heavily impacted. They just had a record-breaking third quarter as EV sales continue surging. If you're not familiar with BYD, they were a electric play on hybrid and pure electric vehicles. So instead of being like Toyota and really going all in on hybrids, or being like Tesla and really and only focusing on EVs, BYD came along and it has tackled both markets. And also Warren Buffett, you may have heard, he was an early investor in BYD, did very well. I do believe he has gotten out though, and maybe he shouldn't have, because apparently they've been doing extremely well. So we can see down here that they had record-breaking vehicle sales in Q3. BYD was outpacing Tesla for the first time in quarterly revenue. Now, from what I understand, though, last quarter, BYD actually beat Tesla in the sales of EVs, but this quarter, Tesla just slightly beat them, so they're kind of going back and forth on that. BYD posts record-breaking Q3 profits, revenue, and sales. The company reported Q3 net income of $1.6 billion. That's US dollars, up 11.5% year over year on revenue of $28.2 billion, an increase of 28% from Q3 2023. Now, those are very impressive numbers, especially for a car manufacturer. That's almost tech-like numbers for real. Both were new quarterly records. BYD's record-breaking third quarter comes as vehicle sales continue surging with nearly 1.1 million new energy vehicles, PHEVs, and EVs. Now, in case you're not familiar, PHEVs are considered to be like plug-in hybrids, etc. They're anything where it's not just electric. BYD topped the 1 million sales mark for the first time in a quarter, meaning that they sold a combination of the two, more than 1 million vehicles. September marked BYD's 7th consecutive month of record-breaking plug-in hybrid sales. Last month, BYD sold 252,647 partial PHEVs, up 88% year over year. And through September, the company has sold nearly 1.6 million PHEVs. Okay, so just absolutely impressive numbers all over the place. We can see that the BYD's EV sales are also picking up, with another 164,956 sold in September. The company sold a total of 443,426 EVs in the third quarter, though they were outpaced slightly by Tesla again. 462,890 EVs sold last quarter. You can look up their lineup, which they have down here. BYD Ocean Seal, and goes all the way over to the Shark. The Shark is very interesting, just released in Mexico. It's a PHEV truck. I kind of looked at it, I actually really like it. But they really cover all ends of the market. They're covering really low end of the market. I believe they even have a $12,000 vehicle, which I saw reviewed by a US reviewer, and it looked like a great vehicle considering it's $12,000, okay? Just something that I would absolutely buy to tool around town in. In fact, it's something where it frustrates me because I need a new vehicle right now. I don't need it for much, and I'm just looking at new car prices here in the US, and they're insanely high. It's like China has a car that they could bring over here. Maybe, the cost of bringing it over would be $15,000. That still would be a great price to me. And they cover all ends of the market. And this is being prevented from being put in our hands, or the governments are putting a tax on us, right? So in Europe, it's not the 100% that's in America. It's, I believe, 30% or something. But how is BYD going to recoup that? More than likely, they're going to have to raise prices. So that means that European consumers are going to have to pay more. In America, we're just missing out completely. And that just really bugs me, okay? Because especially we have something like this over here. I love supercars, especially things like this, the Xiaomi SU7 Ultra, right? This was a supercar that Xiaomi released details about in April. I grew up, I'm an F1 guy. I love the idea of real driving. I don't think, you have these Tesla guys and you think real driving is just go straight line fast, right? 0 to 60 and that's it, okay? And I understand the thrill behind that. I do watch Top Fuel dragster races. They are very interesting. But to me, it's nothing compared to track driving. Okay, track driving, going into the corners, seeing how the car handles, things like that, the feel of it. That to me is the best kind of driving. And so you can see here the SU7 Ultra went out to Nürburgring. This is kind of a real track that they take all these cars out on, and they kind of test them to see how they feel. And it posted a time of 6 minutes and 46 seconds. Now keep in mind, this is a prototype, but basically this is supposed to be the prototype for the production car, so the production car shouldn't be too far off. I would be surprised if it comes in at 6:46, because this time is phenomenal. To give you context, the Rimac Navara, another EV supercar, okay, it came in at a time of 7 minutes and 5 seconds. And if you know anything about track racing, 20 seconds on a track like this is it's not even close. It's not in the same ballpark. You wouldn't even be able to see the guy. They would be so far back. It's an insane margin. So I do think we got to take this number with a grain of salt. I wonder if the actual production vehicle will be this fast, but I can't imagine that's going to be too far off of it. If it breaks 7, that would be absolutely amazing. More context would be that Tesla's very heavy Tesla Model S Plaid came in, and it had set the record initially because there wasn't really much competition in the EV space, and it ran 725, which at the time was pretty impressive for a electric vehicle because of their weight, but of course overall it wasn't very impressive at all. And so this kind of car like this, the Xiaomi, is going to definitely be prevented in America, even if they wanted to pay the 100% tariff, because our administration, or I think it was the Trump administration, one of these administrations deemed Xiaomi to be a Chinese actor, saying that they're going to steal our data, and has basically put in these things that prevent people from doing any kind of business with them. I forget what they call that. And so any US business can't do business with Xiaomi now. And so like Google, who provided their suite of apps for Xiaomi phones, Xiaomi makes excellent phones. They're one of the top phone brands in China. They had to pull back on that. Xiaomi developed their own OS in response. But so we'll never see this car over here. And that really, it bugs me. Now, I probably wouldn't be able to afford a car like this, maybe in the future if the market goes really well. But still, just the thought of it kind of bugs me. The thought that I can't go out and buy a nice electric car for $12,000, $15,000. I have to be settled, happy with what we have in America, which our lowest price right now would be the Equinox, which I think comes down to $27,500 after the government rebate. Still twice as much, roughly, as what would be the lowest price Chinese car if they could come over here tariff-free. So I don't think that this helps anybody, these things. I'm wondering who they're trying to protect. I understand that the auto workers, they're trying to keep them in jobs, but the rest of us have to pay the price instead of letting the market just be more efficient and iron the stuff out itself. Leave comments down below. Am I right? Am I wrong? What do you think? Have a great day.